But when you are two people who have limited amount of experience and you get together and you actually discover that part of the relationship or marriage together, and you grow in
Discover
that
your pleasures together.
that makes it I'm not gonna say makes it worthwhile, but that makes it a lot easier to maintain that relationship because you have no other outside experiences.
Welcome back to another episode of Life After I Do. I'm your host, Nisha D, and I'm here with my husband, as always. Same guy, every week.
Yo husband.
That's what marriage is about.
Molito.
Same guy.
Molito.
Every week.
Hey, Booskies. It's like watching cable with the same movies come on.
Same movie. It's the same. But
every
you know
day.
What?
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's cozy good.
Cozy good.
Cozy good.
Cozy good. It's like one of my favorites. Why are you cheesing so much today?
You look good.
Thank you, honey. You look good too. You looked really good in the gym this morning.
You look good.
Like when you were doing your bicep curls today, and you had your chest out and everything looked like nice and hard, and you were like this, and I was like,
yeah, that shit hurt.
I said, okay, daddy.
Keep it in you. Stop trying to fuck.
Goodbye. Goodbye. My efforts will go unnoticed.
What efforts?
Anyway, how was your day? How was your week?
You talking about your gym efforts?
No, nothing, babe.
You trying to fuck?
Would you stop using profane language?
Oh, my bad.
My goodness.
This is an adult podcast.
Okay. Hi, babe.
How was your week? Let's start with your week.
Clean slate. My week was good.
Because you're almost dead.
Yeah, but my week was good. I'm really proud of myself. I hit a new PR.
That's what. On what?
On bench press.
And I got my TRT on order.
Oh yeah, because if you guys remember, he said that if I get within like 5 pounds of what he can press or whatever or lift, he's gonna go on steroids. And your trainer was like, when I told him that, he was like, you don't even let him take pre-workout, so I'm pretty sure he's not gonna get on steroids. I said, correct. I said, I put him on decaf coffee, so I'm pretty sure he's not gonna be touching steroids.
Yeah, buddy.
But yeah,
I'm gonna be in the gym talking about lightweight.
Okay, that's what he was trying to get me to do this morning. He was like, just think of what's the guy's name? Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman. He was like, when you lay down, he was like, just think of Ronnie Coleman. He was like, lightweight. This is lightweight.
Lightweight.
I was like, yeah. I said, but I have to feel. For me, I have to feel strong in my brain. It's weird. You know, like how they say the mind-body connection.
Visualize it. Like I said, sometimes you got to visualize
not just visualize it, but like my brain has to be like, okay, it's nothing. Like literally my brain has to be like, this is nothing. You can do it, you know? And then when I lay down to go do it, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. You know, it still be a struggle sometime, but anyway. But I was able to only 1 rep 135. And what was that? 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. You did 4 today.
And I did 5
5
today.
Oh, look at you.
I repped 5 reps
lightweight.
135. So in case those who aren't aware, that's 2 45 plates on the bench press. Okay. So I finally like knocked down my first, I call it the first nugget, my first plate, you know, I call a 45 plate like that.
But now you're falling into the gym dilemma.
What's the gym dilemma?
Because every time you add a plate, you're trying to get to the next plate.
Yes, because immediately I was thinking, like when
I did
the 135 5 reps, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure like he wants me to be able to do 8, right? Mm-hmm. It's like 8 to 10. So now I'm thinking, okay, so once I finally hit the 8, do I go up like 2.5 or do I go up 5? Do I go up 10? Like where do I go?
Just put another plate on there.
I'm not gonna put another plate on there, Maurice.
See how it feels.
Because it took me. How long did it take me to work up to the 135?
Yeah, I mean, not
2.5 months.
Not too long.
Yeah, it took me 2.5 months.
But you've been consistent.
Yeah, and that's consistent.
And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, babe. I really do appreciate that, and I'm really proud of myself.
I really appreciate, and I'm really proud of the growth that your leg days have produced.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was the back and my shoulders and stuff.
Oh, yes. Because your back getting good. Oh, it's getting good. Oh, yeah.
When I flexed today,
Oh, yeah.
my bicep, did
Oh,
it
yeah.
feel nice?
No,
It's
it felt like competition.
it's still pretty fluffy. Like it's still Wait,
It's so fluffy.
wait a minute. When I was doing the bent over rows today, and he was like, "Okay, you want to like keep your shoulders tight." He was like, "Pull it back to your belly button." And I told him it may not look like I'm pulling it back to my belly button because my stomach's a little lower. I said, "But I am. It's good." And
Yeah.
he was like, "That's." He was like, "That's not a thing." He was like, "Just pull it back to your belly button." I was like, "I'm just letting you know that you know."
Shout out to Body by Patino.
Yeah. So thank you. That was really
That's not
great.
his name. That's what we call
That's
him.
what you've dubbed him.
That's what we call him.
Yeah, but I was definitely humbled. I wouldn't even necessarily say humbled because like I had told you, I was able to what is it, bicep curl the 60-pound easy bar,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what did I tell you? Like, yes, I can do it, but I know my form is like
Mm-hmm.
my form is it wasn't good. So even though I could technically like lift it and do like 8 reps, I knew my form was trash. So it's still the equivalent of not doing it. So
It's like half reps.
so when we went to do bicep curls today and I got the 40 and he was like 40, he was like, "I thought you told me you could do 50. I was like, "I can actually do the 60. I said, "But I know my form is trash on this. So if we're going to work on form and you're going to show me my proper form, I might as well just go a little bit lighter." So I showed him the 60 first because he wanted to see how I did at the 60. Then he corrected my form. And like I was able to do 5 reps like with the 60. And then when he corrected my form and had me doing it the right way, I couldn't even get it up. Like literally, I
It
couldn't
was
get it
night and
up.
day.
So then I put it down and I said, he was like, "Yeah, go down to the 40." And I was like, "Okay." Then I went down to the 40, but immediately when I picked up the 40, I was like,
So light.
"It's so light. Like, how is this going to help?" But then when my form got corrected and then I did that 40, I was
I'm
like,
dead.
"Damn."
I'm dead.
I said, and then he was like, "We're going to max out together." And I was like, "But I don't want to do
I don't
that."
know. Yeah. Yeah. He kept
I don't
he
want to
kept
do
doing this
that.
shit today where he feel like, bro, the plan calls for 3 sets. What is these drop sets and these
But shouts out to all the trainers in the world who always feel like you got
one more?
one more. They always, you know what? Because if you did 10, you can do 11.
And
And if you did 11,
might as well do 12.
you might as well do 12. And
Yeah.
since we done 12, just 15. Just go ahead and do the make
no,
your new reps 15.
no, it's and since you did 12, that set don't count because obviously the weight was too light.
And that's what he told me. Yeah, because when we were doing the lat raises, he was like, "Okay, and now you can go up." He was like, "Because if you did 10 reps there, that means you can go up." And he commended me on the form for my lat raises.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Although your form was perfect," he was like, "the fact that you had that much control lets me know that the weight was also not heavy
Yeah,
enough."
you be in there playing around like you ain't.
No, I don't be playing around. I'm also just not trying to hurt myself, you know? You know what I
Because
mean?
you know we both had big backs, but your back was big and strong. Mine was just big.
Oh my gosh. Well, according to you, it's because it's just genetics.
It's genetic. I
So
mean,
now you're fighting against
yeah.
my ambition
Yeah.
and my genetics.
I am fighting genetics. You seen your daddy?
Yeah.
I see. You see what your brother look like. He don't work out no more. He still got it.
I'm pretty sure he still works out, just
Nah,
not like he used
Not like
to.
he used to.
Yeah, but he still works out. He's still a coach, so he still works out.
Anyway, now that we got the boring, we got the way.
That wasn't boring, and that wasn't my whole week, but that was the highlight of my week. So I'm happy about that. What was the highlight of your week,
We're not
babe?
going to give you 10
Goodbye.
minutes.
What was the highlight of your
The highlight, honestly, the highlight of my week was when I went for a walk with my daughter, and she,
week? And you video recorded and you videotaped me?
yeah, and I FaceTimed you. You
FaceTime
sound
me?
so old.
I did. I'm sorry.
I FaceTimed you, and
sorry.
I showed you how your daughter literally did cartwheels for over a quarter mile.
He calls me and she was like way in the front of him. And he was like, "This is how she's choosing to walk." Phoenix was quite literally turning cartwheels. As he's walking, she was just doing cartwheels
Down the
over
street.
and over down the street. And I was like,
Flex.
I mean,
Flex.
you know?
And when she wasn't doing cartwheels, she was jogging. She was flexing on me.
Yeah.
And I said, I can still throw you like a rad dog.
Well, she's only 54 pounds.
That's all right.
So
She better watch it.
She also
You
flexed
can't even
on
curl
him.
her. You can't even curl her.
I can't curl her.
You barely did the 40s.
Goodbye. With bad form, I can do anything.
Right.
um, what did she do? She challenged
She
him to a plank.
she did plank twist
She did plank twist because he was like, she didn't work out on what day was that?
Saturday.
Saturday. And so in the evening, he was like, Phoenix, did you work out this morning? And she looked at me and I was like, you just tell him no, we didn't work out today. And she was like, no, I didn't work out today. And so he was like, okay. So they did wall sits, push ups. And then he was like, we're going to do some planks. And then she goes, oh, I can do some plank twists.
Right.
And so we both were looking at her like, no, no need to flex on us.
That wasn't the most disrespectful thing when she was like, "Oh, I can do lunges all day."
Wait, no, you didn't understand how she was lunging at first
Yeah.
because he told her to do lunges, but remember she's a gymnast. So when she did a lunge, she did like a gymnast stance lunge, like lunging forward, one foot in front, the knee bent like that. And he was like, now lunge. And she was like, she
I
was
am.
literally sitting there, straight arms and everything. She was like, I am lunging. And he was like, no, you're not. Do a lunge. And she was like, I am doing a lunge.
I was like, "No, baby, a workout, a workout."
I said,
lunge."
babe, she's doing a gymnast lunge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. That was fun. That was the
Yeah.
highlight of your week.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You made memories with her. She brought me home 50 million damn rocks.
She was like, "Dad, I gotta pick
I'm
these
not sure
rocks
why
up."
you let her pick so many rocks to bring home.
I told her 3 was fine, but she said
She brought home about 10 rocks.
she needed to have. She said I told her 3 was fine. She said, "No, I need 3 for mommy and the rest are for me."
And then she came and put them on my desk. Dirty rocks with the dirt still attached to them. And
Yeah.
she was like, do you like them? And I was like, I think they're the most beautiful rocks
You
ever.
lucky it was rocks. At first, she wanted to pick dandelions and bring them to you.
She likes dandelions.
And I said, "Phoenix, we're not going to go around people's yard to pick up their dandelions."
She loves when we get them in the front yard. She'd be like, oh, dandelions. She was like, Mommy, which rock do you want? And so I chose like the smallest rock. And then she looks at me, she goes, you can keep them all.
She said she was looking for you.
And then I go to walk upstairs and
And
lo and
everywhere.
behold, they're everywhere.
It's
And
a
I
rock.
step on a damn rock on the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stepping on a freaking what is it, Lego? Only it's worse because you're not expecting to step on one on a step.
Yeah. Yes, that was a highlight of my week. Oh, that and the fact that
Okay.
I am ever getting ever so closely
To what?
to being in the 250s.
Very good. High five.
I'm not high fiving you, but
Why you
we don't
wow.
high five me.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like I have not been in the 250s probably since my daughter was born.
hmm
So I'm very very excited for that.
I'm excited for
Because
you.
when it happens, my head gonna be a little bigger.
Oh my gosh.
Both of them.
Okay. That was not necessary under any circumstance.
But it goes along with today's topic. Tell them what we got today, boo.
Today we're going to be talking about premarital sex, and I'm not sure how you thought that was a decent segue. But I mean, sure, why not? Yeah, so premarital sex. So it kind of comes up the topic for me anyway. I know that I've had many conversations
Mhm.
with friends, with cousins,
What hoes?
about
What hoes?
I have not shut up. With friends and stuff about, partners prior to marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my experience was limited.
Limited. That's what we going with. Limited. We can say non-existent.
Yeah, non-existent. Oh gosh, that was so funny. Okay, so yeah, like non-existent. But I will, I wanted to get your opinion on your thoughts about some of like the pros and the cons and
Mhm.
what people, especially nowadays, should consider, like the younger generation coming behind us,
Mm-hmm.
should consider about having multiple partners, going into, later years of marriage. Like is there should you be really taking that aspect of your life as serious as it should be taken, with the forethought of possibly wanting to marry one day?
Well, this was hard. Pause. Because I have like contradictory
Conflicting
conflicting views,
views.
right?
Okay.
Because I see it two ways.
Yeah. I know which ways you're about to say. And
I
yes,
see it
and
two
I
ways.
can understand both. Yeah.
Like for one, I see like taking it seriously and only, which I am a big, very big, very big component of taking it seriously and only planting your seed where you want it to grow in a place that has been nourished and
Why are you trying to make this answer so
right
polished? Just say it.
in a place that has been prepared, vetted, and studied, and you know that this is the person that you want to bring forth life with.
Okay.
I think that is very important. And I also believe that that is a issue or a topic that most young men do not discuss or have conversations they have with, because you don't want um you know 5 minutes of pleasure to be 18, pretty much lifetime of whatever
Commitment.
of commitment, because
Uh-huh.
you're going to be tied to that person for the rest of your life in a way, shape, or form, right? And similar to what um Dr. Umar was saying, which I also agree with what he was saying. It's like premarital sex. The more premarital sex you have, it builds up. That's when you start to build your preferences, right? Where you
Okay.
learn, right, and then now the dynamic of pleasure now has more of a um, deciding factor in your choices when you choose relationships, right?
Yes.
Right, because now you tend to you want to lean towards the ones that's going to put it on you, right? I do see that being a thing.
I mean, but that's important.
It is important,
That's
right?
really
But
important.
here's the thing: as you go off and you develop these preferences, you you become numb to some degree, right?
I mean, if you out there wilding.
If you're out there wilding,
Yeah, if
right?
you out there
It's the
wilding.
same thing as how studies show that people who watch a lot of porn,
Oh
how they
yeah,
become
like that.
how
Yeah.
they become desensitized, and
Yeah.
now you've done so much shit that now you have to go you have to take it the next level up
Yeah.
in order to find right.
Right.
I do see that being a thing, but when you are two people who have limited amount of experience and you get together and you actually discover that part of the relationship or marriage together, and you grow in
Discover
that
your pleasures together.
together,
Hmm.
that makes it I'm not going to say makes it worthwhile, but that makes it a lot easier to maintain that relationship because you have no other outside experiences from that. So you're not I'm not going to say that you're ignorant of what could happen. I'm just saying that you only have in front of you what you know,
Right.
right?
So then it just removes a little bit more of that comparison.
Yes, it removes
Hmm.
it removes comparison, and it removes um comparison, right?
Yeah.
And but when you have something to compare to, um, then that's when you start to I believe that's when you start to linger outside of the commitment you've made to your partner, right? If they're not living
What do
up.
you mean?
Like if I have something to compare to and you're not
Something
satisfying
that's better than
right,
what you
and you're
currently
not
have.
if you're
Hmm.
not satisfying my need, but I know that when I was with so and so, I was like
When
I was she was it was
when I was with Vanessa,
it was
I don't know.
Vanessa.
I was just throwing out a name to help you out. Sorry. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? But when I have something to compare to, when I can say, "Oh, this was better than that,"
Hmm.
that can lead to complications, especially if I'm not able to control if me or the person in general or is not able to control urges to achieve that level of pleasure again. So I do see that why I understand that premarital sex to some degree is, I believe,
Important.
is important
Hmm.
because you have to see if I think it's part of seeing if you're compatible,
Yeah.
right?
Because
Because
it's a important
it's
aspect of your
important, right?
relationship.
Because let's be honest, I'm not sitting here lying. Like we had premarital for a long time,
Entanglements.
and whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to call them, right?
So
But
basically, we had
but I do
opportunities to get out.
right, but I do want to say it is a little different for us because we have been together since we were teenagers for so long,
Mhm.
and while you were not my first, I
Yeah.
was your first.
Oh,
And so,
I
I
should have
mean,
looked for a
it did
virgin.
benefit me because you had nothing to compare to.
I feel like that low key, just like that was for you. You're like, oh yeah.
It's I wear it's a badge of honor for me. Like it's I'm the only.
number for me.
If I'm being honest, I'm the only one that been in this station. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
And I have painted all the walls.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We don't need your extras. That's fine.
But I'm saying like it can go both ways, right? Because then the question can be had of, if you've never had it, how do you know you're not compatible? How do you know that it's just not, you both not just in an awkward phase of figuring it out, right? And
Uh-huh.
I do think that one thing with us is that because we didn't neither one of us had, well, you had no experience. I didn't have a ton of experience. I only had one other person, right? It's it was a situation to where we had to discover and grow and learn how to do this together. Like we
Mm.
had to figure out what worked
What
for
our
us,
likes and what our
right?
dislikes. Yeah.
And what things and what methods got us there.
Yeah. And that was fun.
It still is.
Okay. No.
Ever
Okay.
changing.
No, we don't need all that, but thank you. I agree. I do agree. Okay, so some of the pros. I have some pros here
Of premarital
of
sex.
premarital sex.
Okay.
Compatibility assessment, which you touched on.
Yes.
Premarital sex allows couples to explore sexual compatibility, which is an important aspect of the marital satisfaction. Studies suggest sexual dissatisfaction can be a predictor of divorce. So we're not going to act like
Oh
it's
no,
not. It's not an important.
It is very much important.
It's not an important
Because let me tell you something.
aspect of the human experience.
Let me tell you something. You can be on my nerves all week long, but come Friday or Saturday, and you put it on me,
Oh my god!
I'm forgiving.
You could be in the middle of an argument if I flash you. You're done.
Say that's what we talking about now.
Say what? Come again? No pun
They
intended.
ain't talking about nothing. You'd be like, as soon as you say peekaboo,
Okay. Bye. Okay. Another pro. Improved communication. Engaging in premarital intimacy can foster openness and improve communication about sexual needs and boundaries.
okay. See, when you say intimacy is not just the act of sex,
Okay.
right? And I
I
do
didn't
think
say intimacies.
you did say intimacy.
Oh, you're right. I did. Premarital intimacy.
I think any type of intimacy, whether it's it's necessary premarital, right? Not just sex, but just being in that bubble, in that quality time to actually learn each other, learn about
Yeah.
each other in a way. And
Emotional
right,
intimacy,
and
mental.
I feel like the non-sexual intimacy is what's important,
Right.
because if you get my personal opinion is that if you get the non-sexual intimacy together in a line where you guys are in tune that way, it's going to make the sexual intimacy that much better.
I'm gonna give you what did he do? Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Number 3, the reduction of sexual anxiety. Premarital experience may help individuals feel more confident and reduce anxiety about being intimate when in a marriage.
Oh, hoes gonna be hoes.
Okay, that has nothing to do. But no, I agree with that too. I think experience.
Yes, helps you because you have
you come in with a little bit of a game plan, right? You can
a little
come
bit of
in with
expectation.
saying
Yes.
like, even if it's not trying to show your partner what it is you like, but also being confident enough to explain to them, this is what I like,
Yeah.
this is what I don't like, don't touch me here, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a level of confidence that also can come with that, which also will help decrease the anxiety.
Yes.
So I agree with that one. Understanding preferences.
Yes, that's important
Exploring preferences before marriage can contribute to a better understanding of what each partner desires, potentially strengthening the relationship.
Right.
So pretty much what I said.
Also, and going to that, yes, I need to understand your preferences, but both of us also need to be open to trying other things that we have not tried before, because
Right.
it may become a new preference.
Right. I know for me, when I've had this conversation with friends,
With hoes.
I always get, please stop saying that. I always get the look of like, what? Wait a minute. Like,
Hold up.
wait a minute. What do you mean? Just like one person? How do you know what you like? How do you know? I discovered that with my person.
And I had fun doing it.
I discovered the things that I like. I discovered the things that I don't like. I discover my boundaries. And for me personally, through my personal experience, I find that it kind of worked out for me because especially as we got older, like and went towards marriage, it was important for me to be like not sugarcoating things.
Oh, just tell
You
me.
know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes I used to sugarcoat because it's also there's also like egos involved a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
and so I for me I feel like it's worked out because it's allowed me to be more vocal,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like made you more vocal, and
Mm-hmm.
then kind of the barriers kind of came down, and then
Mm-hmm.
we could look at each other and have an
And we
honest
became and we
conversation
became
and
comfortable.
be like, that wasn't it,
That
boo,
wasn't it.
that wasn't it.
Spin the
But
block.
yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you another try because I feel like you got better in you.
We're gonna go ahead
We're gonna go ahead and
spin the
try this
block.
again. We're gonna rewind and do it
Spin the
again.
block.
And I feel like that's really kind of for me personally, worked in my favor because we have kind of like that open line of communication,
Yeah.
like I know if I tell you that, you don't just take it to heart. You also have the comfort of knowing that I'm not saying this from because I've had a previous
Oh no,
experience,
I'm
right?
good. Yeah, I'm
You know,
good.
that I'm not saying like, oh, okay, so
I'm like, if
listen,
you tell me you didn't like, I was like, she really, she didn't like it.
listen, yeah, Vincent. I just want to let you know.
Not Vincent.
I don't know where I would come with the V's. I
Oh,
said Vanessa and I said Vincent. But you know
I
what I
guess
mean?
let me call Valerie.
Bye. But I feel like, and I can't speak for you, but I feel like that would be a bit better for you too, because you know that this is coming from just me genuinely and how I feel, and not necessarily what I could be thinking about with my previous
Yeah.
partners that I feel like you're not matching up.
I agree with what you're saying. I hear you, but there were times where your words did cut.
Was it my words or was it my delivery?
A combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause we have discussions about my delivery sometimes.
I'll tell you, it's harsh.
It's not harsh. I don't try to be harsh. I think it's just, I don't know what it is.
It's harsh.
I'm gonna start recording myself, and then
You gonna listen and don't judge yourself?
I'm gonna say I listen and I don't judge.
Yeah, we need to judge yourself.
And then when I listen, I'm gonna be like, I don't
see nothing wrong. That's the problem.
I feel like it's all in your head, but
that's the problem.
The other pro is changing social norms. As societal norms evolve, premarital sex is becoming more accepted, particularly in cultures with a more liberal approach to relationships. For instance, a 2017 study found that 95% of Americans have engaged in premarital sex by the age of 44.
I mean, 44. You should. Come on. You ain't had nothing by 44.
You should have engaged in something.
Just.
You should have.
At 44?
You should have engaged in something.
If you around here walking around like 40-year-old version thinking titties feel like sandbags.
They don't feel like sandbags?
No, they great.
This is because you don't have them. So
No, I got them.
You don't. Bye. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. Anyway, okay. So, what are some of your cons to premarital sex? What do you think are some of the cons to premarital sex
think,
and how it can impact?
I think
future marriage?
my con is similar to what I said.
Just the comparison.
Said earlier, like you start comparing, so you might find a great person that checks. Like we always say the 80-20 rule, right? You might find a great person that checks 80%, but that 20% is your pleasures in that 20%.
Yeah.
And now you can't.
Feels like 80.
And yeah.
And it feels like 80.
And now you can't muster the responsiveness. Okay. The responsible of the you can't muster up the enough to accept the fact that, hey, because I always feel like when it comes to pleasure, those are things that can be worked on, right?
Right.
But a lot of times I feel like once you've had a preference and the experience, you have the mindset of why would I stay around here and work on this part when I know I can go out and get it.
Right. So or you expect it to be that way every single time with every person.
If you think just because, Valerie did something one way.
We just gonna keep with the V's.
That Vanessa gonna be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, and Vanessa should be able to do it because Valerie has set a precedent and a standard.
Yes, that's it.
just stay with Valerie. But see, you only get the 20
We can't. No.
from Valerie,
Yeah.
and Valerie can't give you the 80,
Right.
because she also handing out 20s on the side,
Right.
and that's what you do.
And that's the thing. And I do feel like, and I think that goes for men and women. I do feel like it is true. The more experience, the more preference you have, I think the more you limit yourself, because now, and when I say limit yourself, I mean you limit your circle of who you're willing to take serious, right?
Based on that, you mean?
Yeah, based on that. Like that becomes a key component, right? Rather because it is big.
And I'm thinking,
Pause.
especially earlier in life, like
right.
your 20s and stuff.
And also and I also think, like, especially when you're earlier, you don't understand that this is something that can be worked on, because I don't really care who you are, especially as a man, as a young boy, you're not gonna get into
getting it right.
Yeah. The first couple of times.
You just focused on getting it.
You just focus on getting it. It's rabbits out here.
Right.
Because that's all you know. You know one speed.
Yeah, and also I think sometimes in your earlier 20s, it can be one of those situations where you have this idea that that's not something I want to have to work at.
Right.
Like if you don't got it, we're just not compatible.
But you also don't comprehend the fact that the things that you're into at 20
will change.
Right. It might not get you going.
Right.
At 30.
But when it comes to sex, that's hard to think about.
Right. I'm not denying it.
Yeah, at 25, you'd be like, listen, I don't have time to.
I'm not denying it.
You know, either we're there, right. either when we come together and it feels good, it's right, then we can move forward. Right. But if it don't, I can't hang around.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of times you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, he's a good man.
He's a good man, Savannah.
He gonna get it together.
He's a good man, Savannah.
He gonna get it together.
I mean, you were my 80%. So
okay, fuck you. Okay, I'm done.
some of the cons: emotional vulnerability. Premarital sex can lead to emotional hurt, particularly if the relationship ends before marriage.
Right, because sometimes
because they think about, when you think about marriage, you'd be like, that's forever, and you want me to put up with this forever?
Because for one person, it may be everything they want, and the other person's like,
I can't see myself doing this for life, Pimp.
So now one side of God has grown attached, while the other side is looking for a way out. I see that.
Religious or cultural tensions.
Yeah.
Some religions and cultural beliefs discourage premarital sex, which may cause or conflict in individuals who engage in it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an obvious.
That's a moral thing.
Yeah. Increased risk of infidelity. Studies suggest that a higher number of premarital sexual partners may correlate with a slightly increased risk of infidelity or marital dissatisfaction later on.
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
The more
the art of comparison,
the more experience you have,
mm-hmm.
the higher your body count is.
Yeah, and you start thinking about that.
The more you can nitpick and
mm-hmm.
say, well, Vincent here, he wasn't,
we just gonna keep going.
He wasn't doing me like Victor. Yeah. So
lower satisfaction. Research shows mixed results. For example, a 2016 study found that individuals with fewer premarital partners reported higher levels of marital satisfaction.
Yeah, because they ain't got nothing to compare to.
So then the question begs,
ignorant is bliss. Ignorant is bliss. Ignorant is bliss.
So,
ignorant.
I always say you can't miss what you never had, right?
Ignorant is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. You can't miss what you never had. So it's like, if there's nothing, that's how I always say, like, if I have nothing to compare, like
I'm the best you'll ever have.
That's what I always say. My husband is the best. When we talk about top of the line,
top is it.
That's it. He made the mold. He broke the mold.
I'm an old-fashioned car, all metal.
Yeah, that's it.
American steel.
That's it. The last one is higher divorce risk. Some studies suggest that women with 10 or more premarital sexual partners are more likely to experience divorce compared to those with fewer or no premarital partners. For men, the correlation is less clear, but is still present.
Yeah, because again, like we were saying, I have other data to go off of. Mm-hmm. And when I engage in these things with you, you're not hitting my pleasure markers.
Right.
So now I'm going to go out here and find someone who's
Because
going
I
to,
know they
right?
exist.
Because, well, that's just like, that's no different from when you have a couple they've been together 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But, dad or always has something on the side because
Mhm.
he loves mom.
He loves mom. Yeah.
Mom is everything.
Right.
But she just can't get him to his pleasure marker.
Right.
So he
Or-
steps out and gets his pleasure markers and then come home to take care of the family.
Or and I
vice
saw
versa.
this on a show, and I know, I mean, he was using it like as an excuse, but it did make me kind of think about it. He justified his cheating by saying the things that he would ask the
didn't
women to do.
Yeah, he didn't want to
He was
scrape.
like, I would never look at my wife in the face
Yeah.
and ask her to do the things
can
to
relate
me
to that.
I have asked these women to do. And
Hold on,
it's
hold on.
because he doesn't have an attachment to those women. But when he said, when he looks at his wife, he's like,
Yeah.
that's my wife.
Yeah.
Like, that's the mother of my children. I would
cannot-
never do that.
I cannot look at, as much as I joke, say things to you that's funny. I think it's funny, right?
Yeah, you think it's so funny.
Right. There are certain things I would never do because when I look at you, you are my wife. You are the mother of my child. You are the person who has been with me through my good times, my bad times. And I would never put you in a situation where because once
Or
I
you
do,
like you picked me up off the street like
right,
a $2 hoe?
you're right. Because once I degrade you, I'm gonna look at you different.
That's crazy because we've role played that before.
No,
so that's
we
wild.
have. Okay, now you sitting there playing. Okay, I'm done. This has been another episode of After I Do.
That's wild because we role played that, and the things you asked for $10 was diabolical. Teasing.
$10 in the '60s is a lot of money.
It's not a lot now. I told you what the going rate was.
I'm still in the '60s.
For what you asked for last time.
But
I told you what the going rate was.
I'm a time traveling pimp.
Okay. I don't do time travelers. Okay, so just a few statistics for you. Okay. For women, according to a 2019 study by the Institute for Family Studies, about 75% of women aged 30 to 44 reported having at least one premarital sexual partner, and about 20% had about 10 or more.
That means only 20% of the woman population are hoes.
Okay, but it's not the same for men. Stop. For men, it says 85% of men in the same age group reported at least one premarital partner, with approximately 28% having 10 or more.
So 30% of the men population are hoes.
Okay. I don't think that I like to call it market research.
I don't think they're hoes. I think that 28% is derived of the athletes and the movie stars.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, those are hoes.
There's a lot more like other people aside from the 1%. So I don't think they're carrying that. I think that's just average Joe people.
It's the pretty boys.
I don't think that either. I think that's just average Joe people.
It's not us hardworking men. I'll just go here getting a
Goodbye.
check for.
Goodbye. I don't want to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right on into.
We done already?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it,
babe.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I like to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, you do.
So we're gonna hop right on into our 2 cents. Sorry, that wasn't a good segue, but I'm working on it. Okay.
Don't worry, I'm gonna talk about it later when
What?
we do our new segment.
Oh, okay. Oh. We're going to be introducing a new segment soon, guys. So
Go ahead,
he's too excited for it. Okay, so this one is an advice needed.
Okay, I got advice for days.
Would I be an asshole if I didn't go to a baby shower because I didn't believe that the mom was even pregnant? I don't even know where to start. For context, I live in a trailer with my boyfriend and his parents on their property. My in-laws and my boyfriend, 2 brothers, also live on the same property in 3 separate trailers, so 4 trailers total. So while we aren't in the same building, we do all live on the same property and share a yard. Summer of 2023, my boyfriend's brother, I'll call him Patrick, told his parents his girlfriend, Courtney, was moving onto the property. No one knew he had a girlfriend because they had only been dating for a week when she said that she didn't have a place to stay, and he invited her to stay with us. We were all immediately a little weirded out by this, but my in-laws are very caring people and they had no problem letting her stay. After she lived there for a month, I decided I'd get to know her. After speaking to her once, she immediately started spreading rumors that I was pregnant and tried to start drama with me. Around that time, she started hoarding dogs. She would she would get a dog, keep it for a while, then get rid of it for another dog. All of her dogs had been skinny enough to where their ribs were visible, and everyone who had lived there has seen her beat the crap out of the dogs. She has two that are chained outside at all times, and I know she has one dog that she's put down because he was food aggressive. That's when animal control was called, but nothing came of it. She's generally rude, dishonest, and uncaring. No one that lives here likes her, but out of respect for Patrick, we've been quiet and for our disdain for her. After dating maybe 2 to 3 months, so like fall of 2023, she announced that she was pregnant and that her and Patrick were getting married May of 2024. We all thought this was fast, and Patrick admitted that we were only getting married because of the baby. After a while, there were no baby updates and no ultrasound pictures. My in-laws were suspicious from the start, so they eventually asked her to take a pregnancy test. It wasn't until they asked for the test to confirm she was pregnant that she told them that she had lost the baby. After that, the wedding was canceled, but they continued to stay and live together and live on the same, thing as them. On Thanksgiving, she brought a cake announcing that she's 5 months pregnant with a baby girl. Again, no ultrasound pictures, no positive tests, nothing. She's not visibly pregnant, though she is overweight, so it might make it harder to see. Personally, I don't think she's pregnant. If she is, I'm honestly worried about this. I'm worried about the well-being of the baby with how she treats her dogs. I'm not going to lie and say that I strongly dislike her. Still, we have been invited to the baby shower. My boyfriend says it's cuz there's no drama that's worth it. So we're going to have to go. I don't even want to buy anything for the baby until it's here. Would I be the asshole if I didn't go? If I do I bring a gift? Baby shower is in January and the baby is due in April.
It's your life. I don't think you'd be an asshole.
I mean, they all live on the same
I said what I
land
said.
and next door to each other.
I said what I said. I do, however, agree with your boyfriend that you should go.
Yeah.
If there's no drama, just go.
To avoid drama.
And then
is what he's
if you
saying.
don't want to buy a gift, just buy some diapers. Buy some shit that she can't.
That's still a gift.
I mean, hey.
She don't want to spend no money on her because she don't even believe
buy
that
a
she's
20 pack
pregnant.
of diapers.
That's still spending money on an
Well, it's
invisible
cheap-
baby.
It's cheap.
Diapers are not cheap. I know you haven't bought diapers in a while, but diapers are not cheap.
I said a 20 pack of diapers. Not don't go get a box. Like go to Dollar Tree, get them dollar Pampers.
Don't get a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would say just go.
Yeah, just go.
Just go. I mean, because if it's not
The food
true,
might be good.
even if it's not true, I mean, she gonna look bad. Patrick gonna eventually probably kick her out. The parents gonna be like, she gotta go. Her and her dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I say go. And if you don't want to bring a gift, and that includes diapers,
Don't bring the gift.
don't bring a gift.
Yeah.
Like I showed up, especially because the baby shower is gonna be
Matter
there
of fact,
right on the
here,
property.
Okay, I'm getting into petty mode now.
Oh gosh.
Go. And when you go, don't take a gift. And when she asks you, oh, do you guys have a gift? My presence here is the gift.
I said a prayer for you last night.
The fact that I am the best thing that will ever happen to your child
Bye.
is the gift.
It's diabolical. Goodbye.
That's the gift.
Your gift is me.
It's me.
You are able to cash in one, not two, but one babysitting
Ugh.
occasions.
And
And that is after the kid is one.
no,
Or
one
potty trained.
from the age of 6 to 8.
Bye, Maurice, from the age of 6 to 8. But yeah, all in all, I don't think you would be an asshole. I do say go. If you don't want to buy a gift, don't buy a gift. Don't stress yourself out. You showed up. That was half the work. It's probably going to be next door at their house on their property anyway. So just show up. Maybe, I don't know, make something. If you don't want to buy anything, if you craft whatever you got left over, maybe make something. I don't know. But yeah, that's my verdict too. That was my gavel, in case you didn't know. Okay.
This has
been another episode of Life After I Do. If you're not doing so already, you already know what the drill is. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms at Life After I Do Podcast. You can write into the podcast if you want to chat with us, ask for some advice. If you want to say, hey, you can write into us at lifeafterido podcast@gmail.com. I know you guys have already heard right now that TikTok might be going away, but it's still here for now. And while it is,
We will be posting
go ahead.
there.
Yeah, we'll be posting there. So
But
go
the
ahead and
but-
like, share, follow, do all of the things.
But the majority of our content will now be on Instagram.
But we will be making the transition to focusing most of the content on Instagram. So if you're not doing so already, follow us on Instagram at Life After I Do Podcast. You can also follow us at Life After I Do Podcast on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Until then, guys, you get a new episode every Wednesday. You get our 2 cents, a separate episode on Mondays, and that's all we got for you today. So
until next time.
Peace.
Peace, Boskies.
Peace.